Well, let's jump right on in.
Let me woosah. Because at the time in which the hotel had released them from their contract and had refunded them all of their money, they didn't want to have nothing to do with them. Okay? That's when you know you have harassed a whole bunch of people to the point that they just tired. Here, take all your money back. We don't even care. That's what they did. At this time, we had 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. We had 4 months before the wedding, and they now don't have a venue. The venue is gone. Mm-hmm. I'm like, so what magic, what miracle, what do you want me to pull out my sleeve to get you a hotel of this caliber for a date in June, 4 months from now? Mm-hmm. What you want me to do? Well, me being the magician I am, I was able to do that. But I did let the venue manager know, because I had a relationship with this one. I'm bringing them to you. Whatever happens, I've given you the background. They're going to be hard to deal with, okay? It was a lovely day, y'all. It was a lovely day from hell. Yeah, it was a lovely day from hell because I am 30 minutes early for the rehearsal. Yes, I was. The minister, the officiant, was like 20 minutes early for the rehearsal, okay? The family is there. The very small wedding party members were there. The couple is in town, and they are checked into the hotel, and we come down to the rehearsal, and everything should have gone off smoothly, but it didn't. You know why? Because the couple was mad. They were mad at me because they didn't understand why their flowers were not set up at rehearsal. If I don't get out my damn face with this stupidity. Listen, I did all I could at the rehearsal to try to make this couple understand that was never going to happen and that she wasn't coming there that night. And let's just go ahead and rehearse, get this thing done so y'all can go wherever the heck y'all going to go for this wedding rehearsal dinner, and I can move on about my business. That is what I wanted to do. They had already gotten on my nerves throughout the planning process, so why would I think wedding rehearsal day was going to be any different? But let's speed this thing along, yes. Now we come to wedding day. You see the smile on my face? We come to wedding day. The day that I was so happy about because I knew at 10 o'clock that night that I no longer had to see this couple. When I woke up that day smiling and realizing that approximately 12 hours from now, I wasn't going to have to deal with them. I just needed to get through the day. God said, let there be rain. When I tell you, God brought down torrential rain on their June wedding day. All I could do was laugh, y'all. That was it. The photos that we had planned on taking outside were never going to happen because this was a crazy rain. It was that sideways rain. You know, the rain that when it hits you, it hurts. That's how hard it was raining on this June day. Anyway, I make it on down to the hotel, bright and smiling and a bit wet. My shoes are soaked, but hey, I'm here. I've made it to the hotel because it's wedding day, and I always go visit the bride first. And so I get to the room. She's got everything laid out. The photographer's there doing her thing. She's pulled me to the side and says, hey, she's okay, but not the most friendly. But the photographer knew that as well, but she's doing all right. I was like, hey, all right. Makeup artist is almost complete. It's about that time to get into the wedding gown. And so I head on over to the gown. The gown is on a mannequin, and I bring the bride over. Hey, let's go ahead and start getting you into this wedding gown. And she stops. I said, hey, what's going on? Desiree, do not touch my wedding gown. I'm sorry, did I do something? She's like, Desiree, do not touch my wedding gown. I don't know where your hands have been, so I'm gonna need you to put on gloves. Girl, get out my damn face. How about this? I don't have to touch your gown. You can get in your gown any old way you feel like. I don't have to touch your gown, okay? I understand that you paid about 10 grand for this gown from one of them famous stores in New York, but don't play with me. I don't have to touch your gown. I was just trying to help you get into it because your wedding party members over here, they handling their business, doing their thing, focusing on them. So I thought I would just use one of these two dirty hands that I have to just jack up your whole gown. I didn't say that though, as y'all already know. I was like, oh, okay, well, would you allow me to ask your maid of honor then to assist you with putting on your gown? I don't, of course, don't want to do any damage to it. She's like, yeah, that sounds much better. All right, Snooty, I could do that. I go get the maid of honor. I was like, hey, girl, I'm going to need you to go on and help your friend out over here to get in her gown. Oh, and wear the gloves that she has over there by her gown because you might get makeup or dirt on it. Who's to say? Anyways, they move along and they go ahead and get in the gown. Now I'm thinking, listen, on the mannequin, the gown look good. I'm thinking when she put it on, it's going to have a snatch she's going to look fabulous, just look amazing. I'm going to just leave it right there. Moving along. I then leave her to go check on the groom. I was like, hey, you're doing good. Desiree, blah, 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 blah. But he's just started downloading all of the issues he had with the hotel as if I was concierge. Yeah, sir, what? Can you please put on this suit? Can you please allow me to put on the boutonniere? What is the problem? Your coffee maker didn't make your coffee as hot as you wanted it? Come on, you just decided that you wanted to have a pissed off day, one of the happiest days of your life, and you're trying to find everything to be wrong with it. What is wrong with both of you? We have stellar vendors. You are in a top-notch hotel, and you are finding everything to be wrong with this day. I said, hey, all I can do is take your issues to the hotel manager, share them with her, and hopefully these things can be rectified before you make it back to the room, I don't know, 10, 12 hours later. Well, thank you very much. I'm like, I'm going to go ahead and leave you. I pinned the boutonnieres, of course. I'm going to go ahead and leave you and make sure everything is going along smoothly with the setup for the first look. So I go find a photographer. She's left the bride's room. She's down in the hotel lobby, scouting out an area in which we're going to have the first look. Right before the first look was to take place, the groom calls me over and he was like, hey, Desiree, I don't want you here. I'm sorry. Once again, I'm always having those moments where I'm like, I'm sorry, are you talking to me? I know you said my name, but what are you talking about? He said he didn't want me there because he didn't want me to take any photos or any images and share them on my social media. Sir, you focused on the wrong thing. I'm not giving a damn about taking photos and videos in this moment. I'm trying to make sure you're in position and that she can come down these stairs and tap you on your shoulder. You do not see my phone in my hand anywhere. It's in my pocket. And that's what you worried about? You don't want me there to see this moment between you and her? I said, don't worry about it. I'm gone. I'm going to go ahead and head on up to the ballroom. Good luck with that first look. Y'all not going to play with me at this wedding, okay? Y'all have stressed me to the point that y'all are on my last nerve. I got 2 nerves left. I got two nerves left, and you are now on the second to last nerve, all right? I said, don't worry about it. I'll go ahead and remove myself and head on up to the ballroom. Have the moment. I'm sure it'll be beautiful. The photographer at this point is mouthing to me. I was like, hey, I'm going to go. Good luck. Hopefully your assistant can get her dressed right, do all of those things that we tend to do. Handle it yourself. I got to go. He don't want me here. I walked away. I went on up on the elevator and went into the ballroom, made sure things were looking good. All right. It's now almost time for the ceremony to start, and the flowers, they look beautiful. Actually, it looked like heaven in there, a floral heaven. It smelled amazing. And in spite of the rain, that torrential downpour that was going on outside, every vendor was able to get on site on time. Actually, most of them were early because they were so stressed out by this couple that they didn't want anything to go wrong. All right. So everything is ready. The ceremony is about to begin. We got everybody lined up. Let's go ahead and get them down the aisle. And actually, I was hoping they would run because that would mean that I was getting closer To quitting time. Yeah. But they go ahead and they get married and all is well with the world. And now it is time for them to have a private moment alone while the guests go to the cocktail hour. And we had set up for the private moment to take place in a side room, which some of the vendors had put some of their items in. But I had told them, hey, this table in the middle, do not touch it. This is where their hors d'oeuvres are going to be. This is where they're going to kind of hang out. So could you make sure that you put your items close to the wall, have them nice and neat. Let's keep this room as pristine as possible. All right. So I take the couple into this room where they're going to have their hors d'oeuvres and some champagne. And soon as they walk in, the bride was like, what is this? What is all this stuff around the room? This is not the room we were promised. And I said, well, yes, this is actually the room that you were promised on the banquet event order. This is the name right here. I said, what is the problem? She says, well, this was supposed to be a private room for us. Why are all these other things in here? I said, this is also the room that the vendors use. I just don't like it. I just don't like how this look. I said, well, the photographer's not coming in here to take any photos, dear. So go ahead and have one of those beautiful canapes and sip some of that very expensive champagne and toast with your now husband and try to enjoy this moment versus finding every complaint in the book to throw at Desiree. But of course, I just said, hey, if there's something that you feel is untidy about the room, let me know and I will go find that vendor, or even myself, go ahead and make sure that it looks nice for you. She's like, don't even worry about it. Okay, I walked out the room. Girl, not today. I'm tired of y'all. I'm real tired of y'all. So I leave out the room. I go make sure everything is going well with cocktail hour and make sure that the flip for the ballroom is taking place. I get a message from my assistant, and she was like, the bride would like to see you. Oh, dear God, here I go. I come into the room. I was like, yes, how may I help you? I need my dress bustle. Oh, you want me to touch the dress with my dirty hands? You want me to touch the dress and fix it with my dirty hands? I said, well, what is wrong? You need your dress bustled. I says, I don't know how to do that. You never gave me a video or instructions. Is there a wedding party member that knows how to do it? It's not that hard. I could tell you what to do. I was like, okay. So I just stood there waiting, thinking she was going to pull some gloves out her bra or something, because like, how dare I touch this gown that you just told me not to touch 5 hours ago? How dare I touch it now? But you need my help, right? So I get my assistant. I say, come on, girl, let's get on up under here and do what we need to do and hike this dress on up so that she can go out here and be a part of her cocktail hour and ultimately eat, dance, and we can go. All right. I did all of that. And the bride was like, yeah, so could you take my bouquet and my purse? And he's giving me all the stuff, the instructions on where to put things. And I already knew this because it's on my lovely timeline and to-do list. But I went on ahead. I took the abuse. I did. I went on ahead and did what needed to be done. All right. Cocktail hour is over. We moved the guests into the ballroom. The DJ, I'm ready for the DJ to go ahead and get everything together so that we can get them announced in, and dinner, et cetera, can go ahead and take place. And 10 o'clock can come so that I can go home. This is not one of my preferred vendors. This is not a gentleman that I had ever worked with before. Now, mind you, he was a wonderful person. He responded on time. He had all of the information, all the things that needed to be done, but I'm sure he was spoken to much nicer than us hired help were. But yeah, he was good. All right. And I says, hey, it's now time for this reception to go ahead and get started. You've got the intro names. Are we ready to go? Blah, blah, blah. He was like, yeah. So we got everybody lined up, and here comes a song. The door is open, and it's time for everybody to start walking in. The wedding party starts walking in. The door is closed. The song changes. The door is open. The bride and the groom should walk in, and they walked in and stopped.
Come back next week for the conclusion of On My Last Nerve.